I made a nice deep trench going around. I got that nice crest at the very base of it right there, and then it kind of swoops up, right? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We got another video for you today. I want to take a look at the edging around the lawn and give you guys an update on the new grass that we've got growing in. All right, so first I want to start on the grass. All right, so if you remember from the last video, you know, we did all that extra work when it came to putting compost down. You know, we dethatched, we did all that good stuff, hard work. But you can see here we've got some good color coming back in. It's filled in really well. There's still some areas where the grass is still growing in, but it looks night and day from where we started at about a month ago. So you can see down here actually it's still got some patching to fill in for where we dug up a lot in this area. But you can see that we've got some new growth in here also. So I mean, basically this was all bare for the most part, but some good new growth coming in there. We got some weed in there also, but I'm gonna take care of that. But I don't want to put any chemicals in this right now that could slow down or reverse the progress that we've got going so far. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let this new grass do what it needs to do, fill in a bit, and very happy with the results right now. But yeah, man, take a look. Really good results. Things starting to fill in, so good stuff there. All right, so for this video I want to get my edging back right for the lawn. So we've got the grass looking good, but you know, I kind of want that, I want that pop again, right? I want the lawn, I want it to have some definition of its own around this mulch bed, right? So, you know, the best way to do that is to get a good line, right? To get a good edge to separate your mulch bed from the property, right? So from your grass. So I don't want to just throw new mulch on here and leave it like that, because it'll make it look better, but it won't be as good as giving it new definition of its own. So what we want to do is we want to redefine this line that I've got going here. And you can see that the line, it's here. You can see that it kind of leans once it gets this way. It's not the same line as the straight up and down that this is providing me the further along I go. You can see it's kind of a worn line, right? So we want to straighten that out. We want to make it a tight line, and then after that we can come back into the mulch bed and pull up the weeds and all this other stuff in here that we don't want to see. So what I want to do is show you guys how to do that very easily, and you get a really nice crisp line without having to pay somebody else to come out and do it for you. All right guys, here it is. This is the only tool you need to get straight edges in your mulch bed. So for me, I've got this this flat edged shovel that I grabbed from Lowe's. It doesn't have to be this one. It could be a super cheap one, as long as it's got a flat edge. As long as it's got a flat edge, that's all you need. Some people get the half moon shovel, and so it's more of a rounded bottom, but it's still a sharp edge, right? It's not the spade, right? So that works also, but I find that getting the flat edge here works best for me. And it's very simple, guys. This is all you got to do. All right, watch close. All you have to do is line the shovel up with the edge of the bed. So wherever you want the line to go straight up and down, you just have to keep the shovel that way, put some pressure in, and make your line, right? You're just gonna go straight up and down. So you're basically gonna you're gonna recreate your own line. So you just do that all the way down. See that? Now it works best if you have wet soil, like if you just watered your lawn, and you know this shovel will just cut straight through. If you have dry lawn and dry soil, then you might have to put a little bit more pressure in this. But you can see just with my hand, I'm able to just push this down, and I can get my straight lines, right? So you essentially just walking your mulch bed, right? Just walk your mulch bed with this. Keep the shovel straight up and down, and just create the lines the way you want it to look. You can put curves in it like I've done. Mine kind of goes around there and it curves a little bit more, right? You can do it the same way. It all depends on the layout of your lawn and the design you want to put in there, right? But once you have it, all you got to do is just walk a straight line all the way down. Just recreate this. So once we get to this part, remember I was saying how it's not a straight up and down section right here, but I want to make it one, right? All I got to do is just put the shovel here, straight up and down, and recreate. Recreate the line that I want to see. See that? And I just walk it all the way down. Okay, buddy, I'll get you more water. And that's it, guys. Just walk it all the way down, all the way around. The best part is redefining the lines. You've already gone through the effort of establishing your mulch bed. Maintaining it is the easiest part, right? And all you need is one tool to do it. And it doesn't take very long. It's really up to you. It's really up to, you know, how much of a perfectionist you are. You know, if you want to change things, the layout, or you know how the swooping goes within your landscape bed, it's totally up to you. It doesn't take a lot of effort, but depending on how you want the end result to be, you might do a little bit more in that day than you might have started thinking you would when you made your original plans. So what I'm gonna do is simple redefinition of what I've already got here. So I'm not recreating anything, I'm just sharpening the lines. And sometimes that means giving your grass a haircut on the edges so that you get the lines a lot straighter than they already are. So you can see right here, I'm gonna end up cutting any grass that might be there to keep this line straight as I go forward, right? So, and that's okay, that's not a problem with that. But once I'm done redefining this line, then I'm gonna come back in and I'm gonna pull up all the weeds and stuff like this, get all that stuff out of there, all of this weed, but it's gonna be straight, it's gonna be clean, and it's gonna go all the way down. All right, so that's the plan, that's the idea. And here's to hoping that everything works out, which I know it will because I've done it more than one time. So let's go ahead and get that done, and then I'll show you guys the end result. All right, guys, so before I get too far, I wanted to kind of show you how it should look as you're moving along your property, right? As you're moving along your mulch bed. So as you can see, this right here looks way better than this right here, right? Looks way better, right, than a worn edge. A new edge is always better than a worn edge, right? So, I mean, my opinion, right? But let me tell you guys another secret, right? So first thing, it's way easier if this is wet. Not soaking wet, but I didn't water my lawn this morning, but I water it frequently. That's how you get good color in your grass and stuff like that also. But it makes the soil really soft, so it's easier to get your shovel in there to make the lines pretty straight. Also, this might be a little bit harder if you have a brand new property, because most new properties are the soil isn't very good. The homes are built on rock, right? I mean, they literally had to dig through and recreate those properties, the foundation for those properties. So there's usually a ton of rock in brand new builds. But if you have an existing property, it's much more likely that you have some pretty good soil that you can work with. So first thing I will say, get that straight line in there, because that's going to make all the difference. The second trick, right? I mean, this is very simple stuff. All you got to do, right, is try to create a deep trench. A deep trench gives a lot of dimension to your mulch bed. A deep trench, I don't know, it just gives it a nice look. You can see it from the street. And what you want to do is, try to get some depth in your straight edge. You want to make sure you have this straight line here, and then you want to make a crest, right? You want this to kind of go straight down, and then there's kind of an angle out into your mulch, that will be your mulch bed and everything, right? You want it to go straight down, and then it's going to be a crest right here, right? And then you're going to kind of have your soil kind of come upward at an angle, rounding off like that. That gives you that separation, the separation between here and the mulch bed rounding off at a peak, right? So it's gonna start to come back, but it's gonna peak more up here, right? This is where the top of your bed is. So if you're looking from here to the peak, there's a whole lot of gap there, right? This whole section is a whole lot of gap, and so it gives it a very good dimension to your property. And so if I were to be walking up the street on the sidewalk or something like that, and I take a look at this property, you can see a very clear definition between the edging of the mulch bed and the mulch bed itself. So something to keep in mind, right? I mean, in my opinion, right, this looks a lot cleaner to me. It may not work for everybody, but this is how I do it. And if you like this method, here are some tricks, right, to help you get the same kind of results. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm literally going to do this all the way around, all the way around until I'm done with the front. I also have some work on the sides, but not nearly as much as the front. So this is how I do it. This is how I edge my mulch bed. So hang tight, and let's see how this looks toward the end. All right, guys, circling back for update number 2. All right, so what's happened so far is I've basically gone around the entire mulch bed using the tricks I just talked about. And here's some results, right? So I made a nice deep trench going around. I got that nice crest at the very base of it right there, and then it kind of swoops up, right? And I mean, you just got it going all the way down, all the way around. It gets your landscaping bed really, really nice and really defined. So this is what it should look like, in my opinion. This is the way I like to see it. So you will notice, to get this appearance, to get these results, you have to make a bit of a mess. All right, so this isn't a clean job. This isn't a quick job, depending on how big your property size is, right? If you have a townhome, this is going to be, this is going to go by a whole lot faster than what I've had to do. But nonetheless, you're essentially digging up the earth, right? You're digging up the soil here to create your edge, and the deeper you go, the more you have to, scoop out. So, for example, here's a whole lot that I had in this section that I, made my straight edge, and then I scooped it out over here onto the mulch bed. So it does make a bit of a mess. That's why, in my opinion, you don't want to do this job after you've already put brand new mulch down. It's just going to be a bad idea. So in my opinion, you want to do this job first. Get your edges nice and clean. You normally, or at least in my case, I normally would do a first pass, make sure it looks the way I want it to look. If it doesn't, Then, you know, I come back behind, get my straight edge shovel, and you know, I kind of just touch it up, right? I'm just following along, touching it up a little bit by a little bit here, just trying to make sure my edges are straight. But that's it. That's the trick. That's how I do it. And the only investment you need is a shovel, right? You just need a shovel, and you can do the same job, get the same effect. In my opinion, you're going to want to get this deep trench. You're going to make a bit of a mess, right, trying to get it that way. And then you need to circle back and clean it up, right? You need to bag this all up. I've got a trash bag all the way over there. But you're going to want to just grab it, pick it up in the clumps that it is, and throw it back in the bag. And then afterwards, after it's all cleaned up, then you want to follow behind that with some brand new mulch. In my case, I like to mulch twice a year. You know, that's just my opinion, but I like to mulch once in the spring after I kind of, you know, get all the weeds up out of the bed and, you know, get it nice and good. I like to put a nice layer of mulch down at that point, and then show you guys this side too. But and then I also like to do it one more time in the fall, or at least the early fall, so that I've got a nice appearance when it comes to, you know, doing yard decorations for things like the, you know, Halloween and then when you come around for Christmas, right? I want to have a nice clean edge for the 2 halves of the year, and I want to have new mulch for the 2 halves of the year. We do get snow here, so right, you're not gonna have a brand new mulch look, you know, throughout the entire summer. But it's nice to have it. I'm sorry, through the winter, but it's nice to have it while you can have it. So typically, I just put a nice dusting there. You guys excuse all the weed that needs to happen here. Neglect is what that's called. But this is part of the fall work, right? You want to get your lawn back to the way it should be. I've watered a lot also because I put the compost down and everything. So my sprinkler, my irrigation system, the water shoots all in this section. So it's just feeding, you know, water into the mulch bed also. So it's going to generate a whole lot more weed in this area than it does in my mulch bed and other areas. But nonetheless, right, I got to get out here and clean it up. All right, so there's a quick update on where I am so far, on the status and how I'm, you know, getting this done. So yeah, it's just a cleanup job right now, and then after that, I'll get some mulch and throw a nice layer over top of the existing mulch that I have there. I won't dig up the old mulch and put new mulch down. I think that's a waste of money. I'll just put a nice thin layer over top, just, you know, bring it back to life for a little while before the snow comes. I've been doing it like this for about 2 years now. My father-in-law taught me a couple of little tricks when it comes to this, and so I thought I'd pass it along to you guys. So hope you like it, hope it works for you. Let me know if it works for you, and if you give it a shot, what you thought of the process. All right, so until next time, catch you guys on the next side.